Hello, welcome to In the Studio with Bryant Thompson. This is Bryant, producer, songwriter, musician, and engineer, inviting you to join me on a musical journey. This series takes you behind the scenes of recording sessions with many world-class musicians and gets into Q&As on a personal as well as a professional level. I hope you enjoy the video. Leave your comments below and be sure to subscribe and click for notifications. Thanks for watching.
I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. Well, even though I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, I actually grew up most of my life in the South. I did move around a lot as a kid, though. So, for instance, I turned 9 in Kentucky, 10 in Tennessee, 11 in Alabama, and 12 in Georgia. So my experience as a kid was a little different in the sense that we were always in a new place, and I got to meet new people along the way. Even as a little kid, I have always wanted to be a musician, and I think as I've gotten older, maybe my idea or my goal has maybe shifted a little bit in terms of where in the music industry, but it's always been focused on the music industry. I am currently single. I think so. If it's in the cards, yeah, definitely. Favorite city? I think that would probably be between either Paris, France, or London, England. I really liked Paris because of the beautiful old architecture. That was breathtaking. And then I really liked London's music culture. They have such a rich music history there. Don't have too much off time lately. Been hustling pretty hard, but I think as a creative, when I do get a little bit of free time, I tend to like to input more sources of creativity, whether by listening to music or reading a book or watching TV shows, just picking up on little lines that you can build songs off of. I'm not too much into sports. I did play soccer all the way through high school, so I guess if I had to pick a team, it'd probably be Atlanta United. Favorite movie would be School of Rock with Jack Black. I'd say my guilty pleasure TV show would probably be The Office. I just watch that on repeat all the time. No shame. Probably anything Mexican. Can't go wrong. Mexican all day. Oddly enough, there's literally no one in my family who is even remotely musical. Even in my extended family, I'm the black sheep of my family for sure, and they have no idea what to do with me. I think I would classify myself as a songwriter first and foremost, and then singer second, and recording musician or artist third. That's been an interesting journey over the years. I've picked up a couple instruments. I actually started out on Appalachian lap dulcimer. So the first couple years of my life, I was 100% into bluegrass. And then I picked up classical piano, and then I was classically trained on violin for 3 years. Then I picked up the hammer dulcimer, and then I did classic rock on electric bass in a couple bands for a couple years. And then I picked up ukulele and guitar, and I kind of settled on guitar, and that's what I've been focusing on the past couple years. Well, I've been told that I started asking for music lessons when I was 3 years old, and then I guess my mom thought I was too young, so she held off until I was 6, and that was when I first started taking music lessons and finding my passion. If I was not a professional in the music industry, I'd probably be in real estate, honestly. My dad's been in commercial real estate my entire life, and just hearing him talk about it over the years, I feel like I know more about real estate than the average person, so that'd probably be an easy transition for me. Dream car? I don't know car models too much, but it'd probably be like a Land Rover of some sort. Favorite color? Probably black. My entire closet is just nothing but like black clothing. I guess my favorite artist would be, well, I grew up listening to Johnny Cash and Patsy Cline and Santana, so those will always have a special place in my heart. I think maybe over the past 5 or 10 years, I've really been into, everything from Weezer and the Red Hot Chili Peppers to Ed Sheeran and Adele and, Rihanna and everybody. I like a little bit of everything. I feel like some of my inspirations from a songwriting perspective have been Esther Dean, who's written a lot for Rihanna, Stara, Meghan Trainor, BB Rexa, Julia Michaels. A lot of people don't realize that those women have been writing for everyone in the industry for years. So they're definitely the songwriters that I look up to. I think I tend to work on vocal exercises and practicing a lot of times just when I'm in the car going to my gigs or something, using it as warm-up and practice. I think for songwriting, I tend to practice, I write almost every day, so I'm very active in terms of that. But in terms of getting feedback and attending workshops, reading songwriting books, I'd say I probably maybe every other week try to, learn another tip or trick about songwriting. I do, but in kind of an unusual way, or at least to some people, because as a songwriter, I operate more as a top liner, which means I just write the lyrics and melody. So a lot of times my co-writes are in the sense that my co-writer has supplied a fully produced track or beat, and then I come up with 100% of the lyrics and melody. I would say that's probably 95% of my songs, and then I do occasionally dabble doing like 3 ways with like a producer and another top liner, so then we kind of go back and forth on lyrics and melody. Some shows that my songs have been featured on would be, I've had a couple placements on Teen Mom, Young and Pregnant, and I've had some placements on The Young and the Restless, Younger with Hilary Duff, and most recently The Resident, which is, I guess, a new kind of Grey's Anatomy that's on Fox. I was ecstatic. I had just learned about sync, music sync for film and TV my senior year of college, and I'd actually interned at a music licensing library, and this whole nother world opened up to me that is a massive part of the music industry, and I'd heard from a lot of people that really starting to build an income from sync licensing for film and TV is about 5 years, and it can take up to 3 years to get your first placement, but I got mine within 12 months. So I was just really pumped about that whole thing. So pumped that I got my first song on TV tattooed. So yeah, I was pretty happy. I do have, funny enough, the library that got me my placement on The Resident, they asked for me to release the song on iTunes before it was actually featured on the show. So I have that single out on iTunes, which is called Bring It Back. And then I'll actually be releasing another single and a 5-song EP, hopefully by the end of March. No, I wish. I wish. One step at a time. I've been recording my own vocals for a while now, but in terms of producing my own tracks, someday. In my personal recording studio, I have Pro Tools, I have the Apollo Twin Duo interface, I have Yamaha HS8's monitors, and then I have a Neumann TLM 103 mic. I'm torn on this one. I am most comfortable with Pro Tools simply because most of the producers that I've worked with over the years have operated in Pro Tools, so I was used to seeing them work in that, so that when I got mine, I just got Pro Tools. But I do know that Logic is so much more user-friendly and is great for making beats and everything, and since I'm interested in developing that side of my songwriting, I just recently bought Logic, so I'm looking forward to learning some more about that DAW. I would say, well, be prepared. Definitely, I think being on time is a big thing for me. Even in band practices, I remember being so frustrated when people showed up late. But be prepared, have the lyrics so you know what you're singing and everything, and just be nice and no divas. I have really enjoyed gigging, performing live. I've been doing that for about 6 years. Maybe not to the extent that I have been. Last year I did 150 live shows around the Atlanta area, and that was exhausting. But it's so much fun getting to interact with the crowd and try out originals, and see how people react. And it's also adds a little bit of it's not the right word, but a danger factor, because everything's obviously live, so you gotta be good, whereas in the studio you have a little bit more freedom to try a couple different things out and get the right take. I would say, well, I guess larger venues and intimate venues is probably a relative term. I would say my average venue is just like a normal, bar and restaurant. And I like that setting when it's, a full house and, the seats are full and you actually feel like you're playing to some people. I've been to some venues that are just so small and so tight that you're playing to like 3 people and you're wondering why you're here. But I will say the largest audience I've ever played for, I opened for Lupe Fiasco, I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago at my college's homecoming. And I think there was maybe 5,000 people in that crowd. And that was definitely the most I'd ever played for. And it was a lot of fun. Lately, I've just been pouring my heart and soul into writing. So much writing every day, which has been awesome. I mean, the fact that I've been able to get to the point where I have co-writers sending me tracks on a weekly basis and, got deadlines and everything, and it definitely keeps me busy, and I'm doing what I love. I would say for people just getting started, don't be afraid to put in the work, I guess. I've run across a lot of people over the years who say they're in the music industry or want to be in the music industry, but they're not willing to do the footwork and knock on people's doors and everything. And if it's one thing my dad taught me, it was that the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So I have no problem following up with people and just bothering people until I make something happen. So you got to be able to do the work. My contact information is, my email is musicality94@gmail.com, which is MUSIKALITY94@gmail.com. And then my Instagram is @KaliJMusic, KALIJ Music.